talk about how to stop excessive shopping and buying useless stuff. Like how to tell if that purchase is actually worth it or not. I am a former shopaholic to the 10th degree. I am an impulsive shopper. I get hyper fixated on something. Like once I see something that I want, I become so fixated on it that I get super anxious until I buy it. And I have since lessened that significantly in my shopping addiction, but I still have a list of wants that I want to buy. And I think it's important to figure out if that thing is actually worth it and will it be worth it in the long run. So I'm going to take you through the list of questions that I ask myself. It's kind of an extensive list, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly. And some of these will be applicable and some won't, but this is basically what I try to do before I make a purchase. And this has proved pretty useful for me and has gotten me out of almost purchasing things a lot of times, impulsively. So I'm not telling you to do these things, but feel free to take one or two if you think it'll be useful for you. This is basically notes to self on how to stop buying useless shits. I do want to give credit to Conscious Consumerism. I think that's the name of her YouTube channel. She's become one of my favorite YouTubers because I am basically my own niche. Like I make content that I want to watch because I like to watch the type of content that I am currently making. So she doesn't make content exactly like me, but she is on a no-buy year. And so she's documenting all of that. She had a video recently where she talked about how even on her no-buy, she went and purchased a few things and regretted it and realized afterwards that it was not worth buying and breaking her new year to buy those things. And so I also think it's worth noting that even after going through all of these exercises to make sure that the purchase is worth it, I might still regret it. I might still buy something that is not worth it. But at least, all I say is like, at least I didn't just haphazardly go and make the purchase. Like at least I put a lot of thought and effort into it before I did it. So here's my list of things and notes to self on how to stop myself from buying useless stuff that I won't use in the future. Number one, existing inventory and will it replace something? Is this something that you already own? Is it a redundant purchase? And if not, if you don't already own it, do you have the space for it? And so I'll give you a quick example. My sister bought the Ninja creamy ice cream maker thing. And she was like, oh, I love this thing so much. And after her talking about it for like 5 minutes, I was like, I definitely want one of those for sure. My boyfriend loves ice cream. So I was gonna buy one. And then I thought about it and I went into this and I was like, I actually don't have the space for it. And even if I did have the space for it, I don't wanna take up empty space and put something there. Like that was enough reason to stop me from buying this thing, was lack of space. And like less is more now. I want less clutter. And so I was like, no, I don't want that in my life. And so I didn't make that purchase. So go through your inventory and see if it's a redundant purchase. And if it's not, make sure that you know exactly where that item will live in your space before you buy it. Research. This is something I failed at miserably all the time, is like throughout my entire life up until like 4 months ago when I started this personal finance journey, I didn't research a thing. My basic method of shopping was saw the thing, liked the thing, bought the thing. Now, so I am in the market for a camera. Now, in the past, I've probably spent over $12,000 to $15,000 on camera equipment, all of which now I have donated, given away, or sold. But now, going forward, I would like to purchase a camera and a lens. And this will be a different video, but for my YouTube channel and also for my marketing job. Now, I've already researched cameras and lenses for a month, and I still have a few months to go. Like, I am going in depth in these cameras and lenses to figure out exactly which one I want, because I never did that in the past. All the cameras and lenses I purchased in the past, I watched like 2 or 3 videos on it, and then I made the purchase. And those videos could have been either the company sponsored the content creator, or the content creator just had an affiliate link and decided to make a video on that product. Like, I don't know. But basically, like, whatever you want to buy, even if it's something small, do your research and make sure it's the right purchase. I love Reddit for this. Reddit, like, you can find a lot of good information and a lot of good reviews because people are brutally honest on Reddit. And so that's where I go for a lot of like quick hot takes on items just to see. I don't trust influencers and TikTokers and YouTubers on it as much anymore. Even blogs, because blogs get money from affiliate marketing. So I actually am finding it harder and harder to feel like I see authentic product reviews, unless it's like Amazon or even Sephora. If you go into Sephora nowadays, a lot of the reviews say this person received this product for free in exchange for a review. So I rely on Reddit a lot, but just try to do your research as much as possible. It's something I never, ever, ever did, and I would have saved myself thousands of dollars had I done that. Next one is, this is also something, oh my God, how many times I have made a purchase based on a mood. But check in with yourself. If you're thinking about buying something, are you bored? Are you stressed? Do you just want that dopamine hit? Are you tired? Like, is this something that will bring long-term continuous joy into your life? Or are you just trying to fill a void at a certain point? Because, oh my God, the amount of times that I made a purchase based on a feeling not related to shopping is hundreds and hundreds of times. And the thing is, like, I was never aware of this. Now I'm aware of this. I was leaving work. It was like an hour before work, and I had just gotten so much done, and I just was like, I was kind of burned out in my brain. I was tired. I needed to zone out. And so I started researching again for cameras and lenses. And I think I've narrowed down the camera and the lens I want, but I was tired and bored, and I saw this camera on eBay, and it was not that expensive. And I almost made the purchase because all of a sudden I got this anxious feeling like, this is going to be the last time this will be this price and I have to buy it now. And then I stopped and I checked in with myself. I was like, no, you're fine. You can wait. I was like, what will your life be if you don't have this next week and the week after that? You'll be fine. You don't need it right now. So check in with yourself. Is it fulfilling as a whole long term, or is this just like filling a void temporarily? Does it have resale value? When buying something, if it's like over a certain price point, just consider if it has resale value. Now, what I'm starting to do, and I have not made a lot of purchases lately, like new purchases of things that I'm not replacing, but like new items. But going forward, what I will do is make sure it does have some sort of resale value. And whether it does or doesn't, baby that thing for a few weeks once I have it. Like, save the tags, save the boxes. Maybe you can't return it, but like, baby the hell out of it, just so that if you realize that you don't actually want that thing, you can probably easily turn around and sell it because you have the original packaging and it's still in excellent condition. The time money trade-off. This is pretty big. What I've done for a few items is consider how much time I'll have to work to buy that item. So I'll give you an example. I recently purchased a pair of Mary Jane shoes, and I thought about buying these shoes for about a month or two, researched them for a while, and then I calculated how many hours I'd have to work to buy those shoes, and it came out to like 4 hours. And I was like, would I work 4 hours to buy these shoes? And ultimately, like, without thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I absolutely would, for sure. Then I said in one of the videos, I mentioned this in one of my videos, is that I've been wanting a Burberry trench coat for many, many, many years. I just love the style. I love the aesthetic. And I think it's something I would get a lot of wear out for many years. And I ended up doing, and that's been on my wish list for a while, I ended up doing the calculation on how much time I would have to spend working to buy this coat. And brand new, I think it came out to like 2 weeks. And then if I bought it secondhand, it would come out to like 1 week of working or something like that. It was a long time. And I was like, there's no way I would work a week for a trench coat. No, there's no way. So this can be a really effective way to just determine if the purchase is worth it or not. The other one is if you want to buy something, you have to declutter an item. So this generally applies to my clothing, my wardrobe, clothing, shoes, all of that. Like if I want to buy something for sure, then I have to get rid of something. And so I just bought those Mary Janes, but I bought them with money from Poshmark where I'd sold multiple items. So I'd already solved that problem. So I sold multiple items and then used that money to buy these shoes. So I like double whammy. But yeah, so instead of like if I want to buy, so I want to buy a pair of jeans at some point. It's on my wish list. I don't know if I will, but it's on my list of things to possibly buy. I will get rid of a pair of jeans if I end up ever making a purchase of new jeans. So one in, one out. The next thing is to try to borrow or rent the item first. Now, you can't always do this, but I mentioned that I want to buy a camera and a lens. And because I've been so stupid with my camera, lens, lighting equipment purchases in the past, I am going to do this. So there are services that will let you rent a camera and a lens for however long. So I'm going to rent this camera and lens specifically first to try it out before I actually make the purchase. So my plan with this lens and camera is to buy it around Black Friday. So I'm going to test it out first. I think the rental will be about $150, $200. I haven't done that yet because I don't even want to spend that amount of money to rent it first. So I've had a hard time pulling that trigger, but that is in my plan at some point, probably in November, to rent the camera and the lens and see how I like it. I'm actually doing a little quick sisters trip early November, so maybe I'll get the camera for that and film it that way, vlog style. And then if you can't borrow or rent the item, then definitely try to purchase it secondhand. So a lot of my clothing, well, not really a lot of my clothing, but a lot of my shoes are secondhand. A lot, like the camera I buy will likely be secondhand. A lot of things I try to buy now are secondhand through Poshmark, Vestiaire Collective, or eBay. I like secondhand better just because I feel like I don't have to baby whatever is as much. Like it's already worn in or lived in a little bit. Like you can manhandle it. Like don't ruin the item, but like you don't have to be so careful with it. You can use it as you want. Like when I have a brand new item, especially when it's like shoes or clothing, I feel like I want to use it sparingly because I don't want to ruin it. But if it's secondhand, I feel less like that. Like I can like really wear it and get the use out of it that it is intended for. So I always love shopping secondhand where possible. Cost per use. This is a tried and true one for a lot of people, but factor in how much the item costs, figure out how many times you'll likely use the item divided by the price, and that is the cost per use. So if we use my new pair of shoes, for example, I wear them all of the time now. I think right now the cost per use is around $20, but if I look forward by end of the cold season, maybe like April, my cost per use will be in like the dollar range for sure because I wear them all of the time and I'll also wear them next year too. So the cost per use for those shoes are very, very low. And the same thing will probably be for my camera, but I haven't actually figured that out yet because I don't know what the exact price is. But I'll use both items a lot. But that is a good thing to consider. Like if you want to buy something, just factor in how many times you think you'll use it and what the price is. And then you can see if it's actually worth it or not worth it. And then this is for wardrobe, the wardrobe test. And this is what I try to be very mindful of, especially now. I didn't think about this ever before when I was shopping, like every single day of my life. Literally shopping all the time, is make sure that the item has multiple functions and uses, like it is versatile. If you buy something, make sure it can go with different shoes and coats and pants or whatever it is. You just want to make sure that you can wear it in wear the item in multiple ways with multiple items. And that is something that I never factored in before. Luckily, my style and aesthetic is fairly plain. Like I don't like any bright colors or crazy patterns. So generally things did go together, but it was just never something I factored in when shopping. And it's super important to do. 30-day rule. A lot of people, a lot of finance people that you'll watch, well, there's different theories on this, but like the general rule of thumb is like wait 48 hours or something like that before you make the purchase, impulsive purchase. But honestly, for me, 48 hours, I'm still in hyper fixated mode. Like I'm still ready to buy it impulsively. That's still an impulse purchase for me. And when I say I become so fixated, like I get so anxious in my body, like almost like this thing is gonna go away and never come back, and it's like gonna go out of stock forever, and then I'll like lose the ability to buy it and it will never exist ever again. It's the weirdest thing. So I need to chill, and to do that, I do the 30-day rule. So anything I want to buy now, I put it on a list and I try to wait minimum of 30 days. And then that's when I look at other items, I research it, I compare prices, I try to look secondhand. Just give it 30 days and see if you still want it after that. The exception to the rule is like, let's say it's clothing and you have an event and you can't wait 30 days. Well, in that case, try to rent it. But I think, at least for me, in the way that I work, and because I'm so impulsive, the 30-day rule is very effective for me. And the next one is, what is the long-term impact? Like, consider that what you could do with that money instead. So let's say you want to buy something for $200. Then just calculate how much how much return you could see on that if you put that $200 in a high yield savings account or an investment account, if you consider like a 7% return. If I want to buy something that is higher priced, then I will just try to do a quick calculation of what that money could generate in 10 years or 20 years if I put it in a high yield savings account, or if I put it in a like a Roth IRA or an investment account. And sometimes I'll be like, still worth it, still worth the purchase, it's fine. But it's at least doing the exercise. It's a good exercise to do, to not only get in the habit, but just to get an idea of what other uses and other ways that your money could be put to better use. And then the last one is, I don't know if I already said this, but like, just if you want to buy something, look around and see what else you have that you could use instead, or something similar. And I'll give you a quick example. This just happened to me. So around this season, we're in October. So around like October, November, December, I start to really crave, this is a small item, but like red lipstick. I really crave a good red lipstick, and this happens every single year. And I was looking at, Dior makes the most beautiful reds. They have that iconic red that they are known for. And it's actually still in my Sephora cart, although I'm not going to buy it. But I did put it in there because I was looking at it. And I was like, you know what? How much is this red lipstick really going to change my life? Not that much. Is it going to make me that much more attractive? No. Am I going to use it a lot? Probably not. In reality, like I feel like I'll wear it every day. Like I look at a few women who wear that bright red every day, and I just love it so much. But practical day to day for me, I probably wouldn't. So then I was like, what else do I have that could supplement it and give me that feeling? And I had a dark, it's probably faded now. Yeah, it's probably faded. This is not, I don't think it comes through on camera, but this color is like a darker color. Definitely not the red that I was looking at, but it's like, it's more of a fallish color. It's a Wayne Goss lipstick that I've had in my stock. And I was like, I'm just going to wear this. And that kind of like soothed it. I still want the red. And it's also my favorite color, but I'm not going to buy it because I just don't think $50 on that is worth it at this point in time. So those are the things that I go through those are the exercises I try to go through before making a purchase. And it's also worth noting that it is very likely that I'll still do all of this and then buy some things that are not worth it to me at all. And I'll end up like not liking or wanting to get rid of. It happens. But at least I made the effort and try and put thought into it and made progress, and way better than I was doing in the years past when I ended up with a bunch of stuff that I didn't put any thought into and basically just ended up in the landfill or in clutter in my closet. So there is that. I would love to know, did I miss anything? Like, is there anything that you ask yourself or consider before making a purchase? Do you consider it all? And what is on your wish list? I'll tell you right now, what is on my wish list? Black jeans, a camera and a lens, and spray starch for clothing, because I can't bring myself to buy this stupid spray starch for ironing my clothes. I don't know why. It's like $16 and I've put it in my Amazon cart and taken it out, put it in and taken it out, and I just can't pull the trigger on this stupid starch. I should do that. So I want to know, what do you consider? What do you not consider? And what's on your list? I would love to know. And I will talk to you next week. Okay, thanks.